I mean, hey,
Hey, we're live. That was quick.
It's, I haven't been here in so long. I didn't know if there's a way you guys have, like, I don't know, this show has, like, evolved.
We've just been sitting here for an hour and a half waiting for you to show up and open shows. And then when it gets done, we just shut it off.
Yep. That's pretty much what happens. Well, I'm excited for tonight's show.
You want to show just how excited you are for tonight's show? Start slapping your notepad.
I got stuff to talk about. Boy,
it's a good thing you got notes.
I got
good thing you took notes.
Wall.
I was about to say, remember when we said Festivus should be every day? Apparently, Festivus is every Wednesday. Scott's gonna have some grievances, and we're gonna listen.
I will have grievances. Ah, boy.
Well, hey, everybody. It is Wednesday evening. It is not Wednesday afternoon as I look up and it's pitch black outside. And we are so happy to have you around and happy to be here. And why didn't I bring a drink down here with me? That's the real question. Yeah, everyone's talking about Scott Noggin and all this stuff. I have some wonderful whiskey upstairs and bourbon that I should have broken into, but did not.
Next week.
Or maybe in like 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Well, no, like Scott's, SFB 15 scoring isn't in Scott's notepad. It's already been decided. We already talked about it. And that's why quarterbacks are just still. And so, no, it's not in his notepad because we just talked about it.
Mixed drink.
What do you?
I'm mixing cold brew concentrate with regular dark roast.
You do need to sleep at some point.
I can't tonight.
No sleeping tonight?
No, I got a project to do, and I got video games to play now. I'm like, I got things to do. I just started a community. I probably should share that so other people could join the Fantasy Cares Retromania community.
Retromania. I'm excited. I don't think this would work. Because I don't think people realize how much time and number crunching it takes to balance the scoring so that the drafts are so chaotic. I don't think you understand the amount of effort that actually takes.
Yeah, you can't really cooperate like that. Well, that's not even cooperating. You can't amalgamate rules or scoring that way.
Yeah,
it would be fun to see the Frankenstein we'd come up with.
Yeah, it probably would be crazy, but I would guess it would be easier to game. Like there are a lot of smart people out there that do a lot of looking at this stuff, and they would figure out the flaws, the where this is how you beat it. Instead of it being just completely chaotic. Turn these off. Oh man, let me do one of these.
I received an email from Fantasy Cares. Is there a promo code for merch? I think what he's talking about is you forgot to change one of the subtitles where it still said BOGO and Advent Calendar. So no,
for me? One of the subtitles.
Yeah, whoever sent out.
I didn't know there were multiple. I definitely changed
the
main one. I didn't know that there were multiple to change.
So sorry, there's no BOGO right now. That was Black Friday and an error in newslettering.
What's crazy is I duplicated a newsletter that had been duplicated from a different newsletter from that must have been like 4 or 5 newsletters ago that was duplicated from. That it's just stayed there.
Oh well, he tried, and that's the important part.
I tried. So we got lots of stuff to talk about here. All right.
And we also, I'm not saying we're going to do it now, but we have a Kenneth Walker jersey to give away due to the awesome people at FF Reddit.
Yes.
Who offered up a Kenneth Walker jersey to people who signed up for the Scott Fishbowl Playoff Mania from, I think it was 12/28 to 1/2. I have that randomizer set up and ready to go for whenever we feel like doing it.
That is awesome you did that, because I totally forgot to set up that randomizer for it.
Is it one where you show the Kenneth Walker jersey, you put it in the mail, and it shows up, and it's Zach Charbonnet?
Oh,
it got hurt on its way to be delivered. And,
Put on the IR.
Okay, so this is actually it may not be that interesting. No, I never go off projections. I generally look at the last 3 to 5 years of scoring, and I take, not only do I look at the full breadth of the yearly scoring, but I take random sample weeks among each of those years to see just how balanced it is. And I have metrics where it's like, 1.2x or 0.8x, on either side of the median to see how far off the variables are making it. Because I want it to, you want to shrink that variable so it stays at a pretty level range throughout the last 3 to 5 years. That tells you that it's most likely going to be pretty similar the next year within a variable range. It's really in the weeds, but I think you can kind of understand what I'm saying. Russ is like, no.
No. I was really trying. Trying.
No, I'm with you because I'm always trying to find the places, the little, places where the armor isn't quite as thick that I can get to. Like Russ and I had this conversation before the season, and it turned out that you were right and I was wrong. But I said, does Scott realize how broken kick returns could make this year? Because I was looking at the XFL data, and they were returning kicks around 72% of the time. The NFL had been returning kicks at 15% of the time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, even if we get up to 40, that's going to be wild. And it turned out that you had it absolutely nailed. And
well, the thing is, you were right. It's just that the NFL got it wrong. The amount of because we started watching it for the purpose of or at least I did, where it was just nobody brought the return past the 40 this week.
Yeah.
Yet plenty of people got tackled at the 20. It's worth the risk of maybe causing a fumble. Just to give an extra 5 yards on the touchback. So
But they're so conservative because if you do the same thing and screw it up, you're supposed to. But if you do something different and make a mistake, then you've done something dumb.
It's like going for it on fourth down or anytime, you're in that situation where if you get it right, you're a genius. You get it wrong, you're an idiot.
Yeah. But.
Yep. I'm glad it didn't completely break it, but I'm also glad it was a factor some weeks. I'm glad that it was a good bye week and injury replacement. I'm glad that there was at least 1 or 2 of them that were in the top 25 of scoring. And I'm glad, I don't know that I'm glad, but I think it's just it makes sense that the Monday Night Football game of the championship week, the player that won it for the champion was Debo with over 100 yards of kick return yards.
Yep.
That put him over the edge.
Yep.
I think there's something symbolic about that was fun. But yeah, I am glad that it didn't completely break the scoring.
Yeah, because that was my when I started looking.
It absolutely could have.
If Shaheed stayed healthy, it might have.
That first. So I was at Fenway, and Bob was at Fenway the opening day, and we met each other on the concourse. We may or may not have been getting ice cream. I cannot confirm or deny. But Shahid had like 30 points by 8 minutes into the game, and I was like, "We've done it. This is it.
Yeah.
I've unlocked the Scott Fishbowl."
Yeah. Nice.
Got hurt.
By the way, I do have a quick grievance. I'm sick of X throttling YouTube links.
Yeah.
Like I will tweet out that we're going live with the YouTube link, and it'll have like very little interaction or views. I'll quote tweet it with "we're going," and the quote tweet gets way more.
Yeah.
Because you throw in a TikTok link or a YouTube link or a Facebook, it throttles the hell out of it. I would like to just make the one tweet and just have that be out there, but no, I got to quote tweet it or whatever to get the interaction down to the tweet that actually has the YouTube link. That's a grievance. Where's my Festivus poll? It's very annoying.
Time for the feats of strength.
Well,
Strength.
Oh, and Wilson over here asking the age-old question: if Scott gets his shirts custom made.
I don't. In fact, I'll be right back.
I don't know why he felt the need to walk, or he's probably gonna like hold up all 6 of them that he has from his laundry. But no, that is just a shirt that Under Armour makes. They have fish shirts, I guess, for people that do the action of fishing, like just.
But
fish.
don't want to go full gerundive. They just want fish.
But think about it: if they went noun for the person doing the action, it would say Fisher on it.
Fisher, it would.
No, Under Armour hat. It's a brand for Under Armour. In Minnesota, fishing is a big deal. So
I just saw the lines of those rectangle like are hooks. That's really
they are
good
hooks.
design.
Yeah. Yep, they are hooks.
Yeah, it's a good design. I like that.
Yep. Yeah, this one is the hook one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clever.
But yeah, I'm very happy that Under Armour has that here in Minnesota. I'm guessing you can get them all over, but in Minnesota they're a little more prevalent.
Well, I'm gonna have to buy him and just put an ER at the end of it.
That'd be funny. So, I don't know what else we want to talk to. Want to go to my list? My list of
Well,
grievances.
before we go to your list, I want to go to this isn't a grievance or anything, but I think I've reached a new level of old. I am constantly cognizant of how or when I might slip and fall.
Sure.
And what I would do if it were to happen. Like, were you ever a 20-year-old worrying that there was black ice on your driveway? Like, no, you just walk down the driveway. Like, I'm going to pick up the garbage cans the other day, and I'm like, okay, that looks a little slippery. I think I'm going to walk around over here. Hold on, I'm going to put my hand on my phone, because if I slip and fall, I don't want to land on my phone and have my phone break, so I'm sitting here screaming in the freezing cold. Like, this is, and it's not, like, in the shower, like, it's like, oh, man, is there shampoo on the floor? That feels a little slippier than normal. Am I going to, like,
you're gonna need an upper phone pocket, because you don't want to do the phone in the hand, fall, throw the phone 20 yards.
That's my favorite thing about button downs. I don't want to go into the office or anything, but button downs have the breast pocket, and I always just drop my phone in there.
Yep.
Actually, I remember when I was younger, anytime I thought there might be ice, I would try to slide on it to see if it was ice. Actually, Ian, come here for a second.
Oh man, on Christmas Eve, we were at my in-laws' house, and I was packing things up for the night, and because we do presents on Christmas Eve at their house and Christmas Day presents at our house. So I'm packing things up, and the driveway was so icy that when the force of me pushing my arms forward with weight in it, I just started sliding backwards. and like not at a scary pace. It was just like, wait, am I moving? Is this getting further? Like it was like out of a cartoon where it's just like
what? Is everything around me just slightly moving, and am I standing still? Ian, when there's ice outside, are you careful, or do you just walk normally? You just don't really care.
I kind of just walk normally.
Yeah.
I could ask Harrison, but he would show up with his hot green cast because he bit it on the ice the day we came back from vacation.
Do you try to
yeah,
slide on it?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but you don't try to be careful. You don't care, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, you can go do your stuff. He's doing math extra credit.
No, homework.
Oh, it is homework.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's even
It
better.
is 8:52, young man. You should have your homework done already.
Usually he's doing extra credit at this time. That's why I thought it was extra credit, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's just homework.
See, my kids do their homework as soon as I get home, not because it's anything. It's just because I don't want to have to remember to ask them about it later.
That's the way I was. But honestly, like he gets straight A's. So like whatever your schedule is, like you got it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna hover.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't want to, but like I get like 5 emails from my kids' teachers every single day. Like they want me to hover, and I don't want to.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Yep. You know what I like doing, Russ? We talked about this earlier today. I like being able to fix stuff and not spend hundreds of dollars.
Yes.
We talked about this on a show a while ago when I fixed my dishwasher for $26, a $26 part. I took it apart and I replaced the $26 part, and then I fixed my dishwasher. There was a part broke on our washing machine, so it wasn't working, and I got a $9 part for it to fix it. I like my initial instinct was, oh great, I have to call a repair guy. You know what I mean? And I can't even imagine what they would have charged for this $9 part that I'm going to replace myself.
See,
Bob is turning around right now. He doesn't want to talk about this.
See, the move is you use them so often that they start giving you discounted rates.
And eventually it'll make up for it. Is that how
They're just like, no, like it'll never be quite, being able
Next
to
time it's going to be cheaper for me to fly Scott out to fix it and fly him back.
It's usually $200 for us to come out, but we're here so often it'll be 75 in parts and we'll call it a day.
We'll call it a day. Well, good. I tell you. Oh, I would text my God. Where's my Ian? Have you seen my phone? There it is. All right.
So somebody wanted to know how many championships Ian won this year.
How many did you win? Just one? You got
in fantasy? Yeah, I won.
First place and a fourth place?
Yeah, I got first and a fourth.
Yeah, out of his 2 leagues. He played 3 leagues. First place, fourth place, and SFB, where he made the second or third round of the playoffs. No, he didn't make the playoffs. That's right. He sucked this year.
He shouldn't have set his lineups.
Well, because I had Christian McCaffrey.
He had like half his roster was injured all year. His first pick was McCaffrey. Like, just he got so excited because he's like, I'm getting McCaffrey back. Nico Collins is back. Like a bunch of injured players this year.
Oh man.
But his home league, his semifinal game, he gives me a little smirk right now, like a upset smirk. His semifinal game was against his best friend. He wanted his best friend to win because my son has won his home league every year, and he went undefeated and won it again, but he wanted his best friend to win, so he's like upset. And I'm like, I get that because I feel that like you want other people to win, and you especially want your best friend to win, like it's not fun winning every year, and it's not fun going undefeated. Like when you do it multiple times in a row, like you want other people to experience the happiness. And I like that was his reaction, is that he wanted other people to be happy.
Tell your friend to get to be better. Like, Zach, I love you, but you're going down every single time.
Yeah.
And I will dance on your grave after I destroy your soul.
See, I don't have that. I don't have that animosity for, like, if I face you, I face J Mike. I'm like, with Kyle though, like on the home league, it was like, we're strapped for bear here. We're going after it. But
I think this is a typo by Scampers. I was going to address this because this was all over Twitter earlier today. If they move it to Arizona, when Minnesota plays the Cardinals, the stadium is purple. Like there are so many snowbirds in Arizona. Like it was kind of all over Twitter that they're like, why would you move it to Phoenix, which has like the highest population of ex-Minnesotans? I know that's like the backup plan for LA issues has been like 3 or 4 times. I think he meant it'd be a big, but maybe he means LA and that there aren't a lot of LA fans that go to the Rams games. I don't know.
No, I think it was more a dig at just people not getting fans in LA.
Yeah, a dig at Rams fans that don't, or LA people that don't, or Rams fans that don't go to the LA games. But yeah, that it's almost unfair to have it in Arizona. There will be skull chants, that's for sure. Oh, I feel like we need to bring David Scampers on to discuss this.
It's one of the reasons I have never tried that hard to get Trish into fantasy football. Besides the fact that I know there's no way she would ever play.
Yeah, my wife.
We get competitive, and it has never gotten this ugly, but it gets bad. Like one time she accused me of letting her win at pool when we were like 20-year-olds, and like we started screaming in the middle of a pool hall because there used to be pool halls back then. And it's like, and of course we weren't like seriously screaming at each other. We were like, you think I would do that? You think I don't respect you enough that I would let you win? No, I love you too much to let you win. It is ridiculous. You think that I would, you know what? Rack them up again. And then of course she just happened to destroy me that game anyway, but I just might not be good at pool. So
that is one thing I miss. I had a pool table, a very large, well, not very large. I'm 45 now, so if I was 25, I'd say a large portion of my life. But now that I'm 45 and haven't had one for 20
years, formative years,
it's no long. But I had a pool table for a long time, and so when Ryan McDowell and Dan Mailer and Matt Price and all us guys, we used to go, and they still do. I don't go though, because I watch the NFL draft with my son. But for NFL draft weekend, we used to get an Airbnb and all go there and hang out. And I remember one year was in St. Louis, and the place had a pool table. And it got to the point people just would stop playing pool with me.
I would keep trying.
What was that?
I said I would keep trying. There was one guy that kept playing me, but everyone else. Because you could beat me 45 times in a row. When I win that 46th time, I am dancing like it's the first time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It also reminds me of, pool is one of my games, but it also reminds me of this time I was in Tampa for a conference, and the footballers were there, and I was playing. It was me and Jason, the footballers. Everybody knows footballers in here. It was me and Jason versus Mike and Andy. We were playing pool, and we lost so bad, and it was arguably one of the worst games I played my entire life. And of course it happened when I was playing with them. Like I probably only got 4 shots because you take turns, you know. Yeah. I probably only got 4 shots, but I think I missed all 4. And I'm like, this is just terrible.
So they're living their lives thinking Scott Fish is terrible at pool.
Well, not anymore, because we've talked about it a lot since. But at the time, that was the first time we'd ever played pool together. So
I was gonna say it's the long con. The next time you go and you'd be like, all right, now we're playing for money, for real. Let's go.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Here we go. We have a little bit of detail. Dame was clear number 1 seed, and he slid in with a stupid Burrow chase to ruin her soul.
Oh
no.
Oh, that is so. One of the guillotine leagues, I'm actually pretty good at guillotine leagues. I've made the final 6 like a bunch of times. The first year I ever tried a guillotine league, it was this celebrity charity guillotine league, and JJ Zachariason was in it, and I was in it. And I was in the catbird seat all season. I was top 3 or 4 all season. I had the most money. And right before you had the roster's lock, you make one final bid on players, etc. I went and got CeeDee Lamb, and he got Chase, and he already had Burrow, and he had the same dang thing. It was the year that Burrow and Chase in like week 16 or whatever it was then
like
had
200
this
yards,
giant game, and he absolutely destroyed me in the championship. So that Burrow Chase stack is always gonna, like Dame, ruin my soul because JJ took down that league and I didn't.
I like Scamper's response. Vitriolic competition breeds unconditional love. Socrates, probably.
Probably. It would only be better with a dash Michael Scott after it. Would be great. Are people here because we said we might give away some game codes? Does anyone in the chat want game codes? Because we have some to give away. I have a couple football things we can talk about. We can get. There's 2 things. There's one, we could get who does the chat think will win in each game, and we can fill out our Fantasy Cares chat bracket to see who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. I think that could be fun. And there's also, for this weekend's games, one sleeper player in each game that can make a huge difference, like either in the game or fantasy. And Bob is pointing at his crotch for some reason. I don't know.
Look, I may have set this up. I'm not sure if I actually set up this community or group or whatever on Steam, not stream. I'm new, so
okay.
If it works, let me know, Ann.
Yes, and please join that up, and we'll see if it works. Hopefully it works. Yeah, so are either of those 2 things that you might be interested in, Zach? I don't care about Russ or Bob right now. Zach, do you think we should do one of those for fun as we're talking?
Yeah, let's get. Bob says give away a silent Bob.
No, this was a gift. This was a gift. Oh, this is not.
No, you're not giving it away.
This one's mine. Someone gave me a silent Bob Funko.
No ticket.
Wow. Just teasing people with a gift that's not to be given away.
I've never actually opened one. I've got to see what they're like.
All right, which one of those do you want to do, Zach? A sneaky player from each game, or let's fill out a Fantasy Cares chat bracket?
Let's do the sneaky player. I also did you keep track of? I know we did this a couple weeks ago, but did you keep track of how well the chat did with the playoff bracket? Because we had them pick.
Oh.
That
was a heavy nog night.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't want to put you on the spot, but that I've been turning that over in my head for a couple of days.
You can go back and watch the film.
Yeah, I did take a screenshot. It's in my December 2024 folder. Thanks for that tip, Bob. So my desktop loads up with stuff, right? As people's desktops do. And Bob taught me that what he does is he creates a December 2024 folder, a January 2025 folder, etc. And at the end of the month, he throws everything in there. So he's like, oh, this was about December. That's where all that stuff is. And I'm like, that's genius. That is genius.
I don't do
Bob
it.
is always lurking with some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff, Bob. Pretty good stuff. I'm impressed.
My
all
mind goes to a lot of places.
All right, chat. I'm going to talk about this with Paul Charchian on Fantasy Football Weekly this week. So I need some tips. Texans Chargers. Chat. Who's a sneaky potential fantasy player or just a difference maker in that game that's like under the radar? No, we're not talking Nico Collins. We're not talking the studs. Who's a sneaky under the radar guy? Not super under the radar, but a back end guy.
Does John Mechie fill that, or is that still too obvious?
Do you think John Mechie is going to be a factor in that game, a big factor?
Yeah.
I kind of want to text Charch and tell him that I'm utilizing our chat to prep for my show.
It's the wisdom of crowds, though. That's a thing.
We got a couple of votes for Quentin Johnston, an Estime, 1 or 2 for Palmer. Someone said Rashad Bateman, but that doesn't fit what we're talking about.
No, it doesn't.
That's just
it
very
fits the
sneaky.
Ravens game, but honestly, what has Bateman scored like 4 games in a row or something at this point? It feels like we're getting to the point where Bateman is just a guy that performs, especially with Flowers out. No.
Getting a few votes for Damian Pierce as a kick returner, Darius Davis, Will Disley.
Well, Pierce broke one. What was it? Yeah, last week.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, recently for sure.
Yeah, he did. He broke that 92-yarder. He had like 120 yards, but 92 were on one play.
Yep.
Plato. Dash Plato, dash Michael Scott. Dash Mr. Scampers. I do. Deontay, how are we here? I think Darius Davis is interesting. He's seems like each week he's coming up with, maybe he's not hitting fantasy wise every week, but like last week he had a multiple plays, one that was called back, and then I think it was the next play he scored the touchdown. But that's interesting too. Yeah, Whittington, that's a completely different game as well. I think they're just Mims. At this point, honestly, Mims has scored 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. He's got 4 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. I don't know if that qualifies. And yeah. Good job, Kimberly A. I kind of agree with that. Those two are just are scoring every week now, it seems like.
So they're both Nick Westbrook-Akines.
No, I mean, if they were doing it on 2 targets, that would be. That was insane. He scored something like 9 touchdowns on 20 targets or something like that.
I think it's 25
yeah,
receptions, 9 touchdowns. Like something ridiculous like that. Yeah. Something that should not have been able to have been done.
Yeah. I meant receptions. I didn't mean target.
Yeah.
But that was absolutely crazy.
So who are you going to pick from that?
I threw down Darius Davis. I think that's really interesting with the Houston Chargers matchup. I'm going to look into his matchup and stuff. I do like this. I just don't think it's going to really happen. But I really like Vidal. I want him to be better. I want him to do more. All right. Ravens Steelers. 1 player. I know a lot of people have said Bateman already.
People have thrown likely out incorrectly game wise, but now I guess we could say, wait, I completely forgot who the Ravens playing.
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
What's crazy? Yeah, I was about to check something here.
Team Clemson big wide receiver baby Mike Williams.
I just want to see Fields. Boswell.
Yeah, I was about to say we got to vote for a kicker. Muth, Nelson Aguilar, Keaton Mitchell. 2 votes for Keaton Mitchell.
Interesting. That's interesting. That's pretty deep.
Well, he's been their second carrier.
Well, yeah, but he was injured all year, so like it's been a couple games now. So I like these interesting too. All right. What about Bills Broncos?
I do my best, Ann. I do my best.
I love that shirt, by the way, Russ.
Oh, yes.
I actually think it goes really well with that the hoodie you have on and the hat you have to this kind of on the side of your head. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I feel like that's perfect. I'm actually super impressed that you leaned the right way with the mirroring.
It was pure luck. Pure luck.
That's you got a 50-50 chance, you know.
That's exactly it. And it just
it's like putting. You either make it or miss it.
So this is actually what I was thinking for that same thing. So I'm glad a couple people threw it down.
Who are they playing?
Buffalo. They're playing the Broncos.
Ray Davis is so good. He's so good.
He's enjoyable.
Can I say Troy Franklin for no reason whatsoever with no backing to it?
You can.
Guys, and just noticed that. I don't know what she noticed, but she just noticed that.
Maybe that I'm Russ. And
it was super funny 3 times over. Ann's awesome.
Yeah, see someone, Kimberly throwing out Vele, which is probably the more correct answer. But there was 3 weeks where Troy Franklin caught a couple of passes, and I got really excited about it. So I jumped on the Troy Franklin bandwagon, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. So I'm going to say Troy Franklin.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Again, no backing, no real reason, just because I want to.
I'm so confused by this right here. Gabe Davis. Hey, he was good on the Bills. I enjoyed him on the Bills. Scored a lot of touchdowns. All right. Rams Vikings. Difference maker, sleeper player. Rams Vikings. Who do we got, chat?
Are there sleepers left in everyone scores in Minnesota?
Yeah, I feel like these are 2 teams where most of the play it's like the main players.
Yeah.
Anyone out of those 2 teams that scores feels more random than anything.
A lot of people just throwing out Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, I can see that. Aaron Jones a little banged up. Maybe Akers gets a tiny bit more run, but that's not really the way they play it. If Aaron Jones can go, he goes. And if he can't, then Akers comes in. So maybe that's an assumption that Jones will re-bang up.
Get the CJ Ham touchdown.
Yeah, the CJ Ham touchdown. Honestly, I feel this way about all 7 teams in the NFC. I've mentioned this last Wednesday. Zach was here. I was like, the last 2 Wednesdays, I'm like, the top 10 teams in the NFL, 7 are in the NFC. I know, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, but the rest are the NFC ones that are going to scare you. All 7 of them. So,
yeah.
So who are we going with?
DB's interesting too. Naylor does make the most sense if they try to lock down. Jefferson and Addison. Naylor should be free a lot. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Rams are definitely a scary team, that's for sure. Yeah, I love that. There's something really refreshing about the Vikings coaching staff and their honesty. I wonder what their coach speak index is, because they fully admitted, and they admitted again this week, they're like, we had no idea Puka was going to play. They activated him off the 21 day, and had him play the same day, that Thursday before the game. They're like, we had no idea he was going. And then he had a huge game. And they fully admitted it. And I'm like, that's kind of cool, that they're like, yeah, we did not have a game plan for that. Good gamesmanship on the Rams too. I don't like his 21 day wasn't activated till that day, so he wasn't practicing with the Rams. Maybe he was like, out running routes with, some local high school kids or something. And
that one definitely felt. I mean, it's obviously not. You're not breaking the rules, but you're like walking up to them.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, he
nudging them a little bit.
He couldn't be practicing with the team under that because the 21 day wasn't activated.
Right.
So I will say he did only play like something ridiculous, like 25 snaps, but he got like 9 catches in those 25 snaps. Like, so you didn't play the full complement, but yeah.
Well, Puka, go run this route. He'll still do well enough for
He knows the offense.
All right, so we're going. What's the next game if we're going with Naylor for this one?
I will say I think DeMarcus scored 2 touchdowns in that Vikings game on 3 targets. Buccaneers Commanders for, and I honestly I think like the Irving, White, McMillan, Evans, they're all out. I don't know who, like,
again, for no reason whatsoever, De'Ami Brown.
Who's could be.
I'm just naming players I like.
Just one deep shot.
Who's their third tight end? Like Parham, not Parham. The Peyton.
Hendershot?
No.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Peyton Hendershot. I got excited.
No, their third tight end might end up being the tight end because Otten's hurt and Peyton Durham or whatever his name is hurt. They both might play, but they're both Otten and Durham are hurt, and their third tight end actually got some work last week because they're both hurt.
I like the Zacchaeus throw out there. I picked him up in the championship of TA11.
Payne, thank you, Ann.
He had 20 points.
Both Otten and Payne Durham are hurt going into the game. I mean, they might play, but
it's infuriating that Olamide Zacchaeus is their wide receiver too.
Paul Charchian coming in. Culp. That's it.
Oh, did you tell him?
I would have never remembered that. There's no chance I would have remembered that. Yeah, I like that. But any Commanders, you like De'Ami Brown?
I mean, I like him as a player. I don't think he's going to do anything, but I liked him coming in, and he just never really turned into anything.
Yeah. So did I. Honestly, when he came in, wasn't Fitzpatrick the quarterback when he came in? Who was the quarterback when he came in?
Well, he got drafted with Howell, and
so
Fitzpatrick was the starter at the beginning.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was the starter, and because De'Ami Brown was such a deep ball contested catch guy, and Fitzpatrick is such a YOLO thrower, I was like, I can see De'Ami Brown scoring 6 touchdowns this year. Just off of YOLOs. But
I also love pretending to lean into the college to the pros connection. Like, I love to talk about Andrew Luck and Kobe Fleener, how great it was when the Colts drafted both of them.
Yes.
Nixon Franklin.
Yep. Who's the Oregon wide receiver that lived with the Knicks family and followed him to Oregon, and that he was like super? He's still with Oregon. He was like after the Ohio State game, he was waiting to talk to the Ohio State quarterback, and then he was like giving his gloves and towels to the Tez Johnson. Thank you, Jason Wright. Thank you. Enough of these, and my memory goes a little shy. Tez Johnson. Dude, I became a huge fan of Tez Johnson after that game. My Lord. That was very cool of him. But that would be cool if he ended up with the Broncos. Rejoined Bo Nix. He played high school and college with Bo Nix.
That's wild.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, part of the reason he played college with Bo Nix is because he went to a different college, then transferred to,
whatever.
But that's still. Yeah.
Still. I think we said enough about Bucks Commanders. Let's go Eagles Packers. Who's I was on McMillan in the preseason. Charge is in the chat. He can attest to that. McMillan and Brian Thomas Jr. were two guys I was like big on in the preseason. Eagles Packers. Sleepy, sneaky, potential game changer. Not one of the major studs.
Gainwell.
Kenneth Gainwell?
Not Saquon. Kenneth Gainwell.
Okay. Charge here confirming my McMillan and Brian Thomas Jr. takes in the preseason.
I was with you.
Gainwell, huh? You think is it the Packers run D or just
I'm literally making stuff up as I go along. I do not listen to me whatsoever in any of this.
See, this is interesting. I mean, with the injuries on their offense, especially with Christian Watson now out with ACL, I think Wicks is interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can see Melton, that's pretty good. Ooh, Jahan Dotson and Eagles.
Why not? Why not?
Bob hasn't talked in about 40 minutes.
I did. I said
got over 800 people watching, which is pretty good. Have we given anything away yet?
We have not. We were going through your games.
Yeah.
We were doing your work for you. That's what we were doing.
I do like, Charge, since you're watching, I told them, I was like, all right, help me prep for this show on Friday. You give me your answers. Calcaterra is interesting too. He's always interesting.
All right. Do you want to give away the Kenneth Walker jersey? We could do that.
Yes. Let's give away the Kenneth Walker jersey. Kenneth Walker signed jersey. Russ has got the randomizer.
Do we have music, drum roll, anything? There we go.
Katie Zucker.
Katie Zucker.
I am writing this down.
I am too, just in case you forget to. Katie Zucker, KW3. Congratulations. And as we said earlier, don't be surprised if that jersey gets injured on its way to you and you end up with a Zach Charbonnet jersey, because that might happen.
I wouldn't be super sad about that. I like Zach Charbonnet. It's cool.
No, that'd be fine.
Well, congratulations one more time to Katie Zucker. All Katie did was sign up for the Scott Fishbowl Playoff Mania in a certain time range, and the awesome people at FF Reddit, FF_Reddit, whatever it is.
Yep.
The Reddit FF people.
The Reddit fantasy football subreddit.
Thank you.
Responsible. Thank you, Jeremy. I don't see you in the chat tonight, but thank you very much.
Yep.
Steam Deck codes, Xbox codes. We want to give some away to the chat. Does anyone in the chat want a Xbox or Steam Deck code for?
Well, it's just a Steam code. We need to be careful because Steam Deck is the system itself, but Steam you can just play on your computer. Like you don't need the system.
Correct.
You can play this.
Steam download code of Retromania. We did have a post today that we would give out some to retweets. We had comments. So those are extra ways to have one tonight.
Ooh.
I have a randomizer for retweets. So I'm going to try and see if I can get it to work. As always, it's something I'm experimenting with. Let's go here. Is that showing anything?
Nope.
No, but you look
good. I look good doing it.
Oh,
there we go.
What is this? What is this fandangled thing?
It is a retweet of this. There was 37 people that retweeted it. How many should we pick? 1, 2, 5, 4. Why is 5 after 4?
I was about to say, why is that out of order? I don't like that.
Because you could customize it, and I was going to go with 4.
All right, then let's go with 4 if you're going to go with 4.
So I'm going to have to look them up, make sure they signed up for the fishbowl. Do I have to zoom in for you?
I mean, I can't see what any of that says. Oh, one of them's Greg Eckert.
It is Marcel.
That looks like 2 underscores in there. Yeah. Oh, and Rob Goldman, who's always with us, I'm assuming. Yeah, Greg's here.
I like this. This was a nice, easy one to use.
Oh, Frank in the chat just missed the retweet. We're up to 39 retweets now, not 37.
Oh, well, maybe we'll run it again.
Maybe we will.
You writing those down, Bob?
I took a screenshot.
It's now in January of 1997 because he
wrong
missed.
Wrong folder.
Oh,
so,
come on.
If you are watching this, if you're one of the 850 plus people watching this, tell your friends or family or anyone you know to join the playoff league. We want to break last year's number for donations raised off of this playoff league. As you know, it does an absolute ton of good. It allows us to do the many things we do, like not just put on these fun events, but we like all the toy shopping we do. Stuff, this money helps go to that. It helps go to, dog, animal rescues, animal shelters. It goes to food pantries. It goes to so many awesome, good things. Yes. We are closing in on $7,000 in this, which is an incredible number, but it's about half of last year. Last year was 13 or so. So let's get all your friends and family to join up. It's not much money, and we have an awesome sponsor this year. You can win an Xbox. We have a Steam Deck. We have a bunch of wrestling Funkos. We have these codes for Xbox and Steam Deck and Steam to be able to play Retromania Wrestling, and we may have some more things coming, but we have at least that right now, and that's already a lot of stuff. Plus, it's a lot of fun. So, tell everyone you know to try to join the playoff league. It's fantasycares.org. It's right on the main page. Just click right off the main page, or fantasycares.org/SFPL, which is Scott Fish Playoff League, SFPL.
So just to give some backing to what you were saying before, the amount of good we do. It is now 2025, so I'm the treasurer of Fantasy Cares. I was looking at some of the the money stuff that we've done, and what we do. I have a sheet that just shows all of the donations we've made, or not the individual ones, but like a unique list of all the places we've donated to. So if we do 3 donations to Make-A-Wish, it'll still just show Make-A-Wish. The list is more than twice as long as the year before.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal.
Yeah. I actually printed that out to show Retromania's.
Like you had to scroll to look at all the places we've donated to.
He had the managers of Retromania had asked who we donate to, and I made a PDF of the list, and he goes, "Everyone, got it."
Yeah, it absolutely brought a smile to my face when I again, very nerdy Excel thing also, because I have the huge list of all of our transactions. So I start like, unique this, sort this. So it pops up out of nothing. I have no idea what I'm about to look at. Then all of a sudden the list was just like, and I was just like,
it's awesome. It's incredible. All the things we can do with this little hobby of ours is just awesome. We are at 418 people in the playoff league. I feel like if we somehow hit 500 tonight, we should do something, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Let me just put it this way. I probably won't be able to stay up late enough for that to happen. And I think we know what Bob wants to do.
Oh, you're in a different time zone. You're in one of those bad time zones where it's so much later. That's right. I forgot some people live in crazy time zones.
Well, Bob's never sleeping again. This is just water, so I don't have anything helping me.
It's not really help as much as it's a necessity in my life.
So I'm curious what's on this notepad of yours, Scott.
Wasn't it to play like video games and stuff?
All my gripes. No, we're in such a positive place right now. I don't feel like going through my gripes. I am curious who the chat thinks is going to win the Super Bowl, though. Or who's going to go through the playoffs. I think we should do that quick. I think we can do it super quick. Texans, Chargers, who's winning? Chat, who's winning?
Chargers.
I think it's Chargers, too. Well, those are not the correct.
Well, first thing you said was who's going to win the Super Bowl, so they started answering. Who's going to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, the Bills may win the Texans Chargers game. You don't know.
They're in their heads.
That's fair. Texans, Chargers. All right, everybody's going Chargers. Let's move on. Ravens, Steelers.
The Bills lost to the Patriots last week and just beat them for the next 5 years because of that loss.
Ravens, Steelers. Who we got?
Wouldn't it be crazy if the Steelers won? Like, I don't want them to win, but like, wouldn't it be crazy if they won?
That would be crazy.
Fields.
That would be really crazy.
Yes, and it would be because Fields got out there.
All right, Bills, Broncos. Because we clearly have a winner as well. Because the AFC is what it is.
I mean, Bills. Again, I think the Broncos would be fun, but I love that they made the playoffs in general. So, but I'll still say Bills. Two people did say Broncos. Though.
You were very close to saying it's adorable that the Broncos made the playoffs.
It's cute. It's cute.
It's so cute. Watch, it'll be like a Tebow, Demaryius Thomas.
That little slant. I can still see it.
Oh man,
everyone can still see it. If you're old enough, you can still see that play in your head.
Oh.
You can still see it. All right, let's just get our AFC done with. By your estimate, Chiefs Chargers. Who's got Chiefs Chargers? Let's see the winner in the chat.
Chiefs. Ooh, Bill's saying Chargers. Everyone else now. Oh no, we got a couple of people that said the Chargers.
He knows Wentz isn't playing this week, right?
I think they're trolling. I think our chat is a little bit trolling. I'd say it's 4-3 Chiefs over Chargers right now. Like the chat is really Actually close to 50-50. They must just not be loving the Chiefs. You got it different? I got 4-3 Chiefs.
Oh, I'm far too lazy to count, but it looks even. It looks very even. I think Chiefs have it.
Yeah. All right. Ravens Bills. Let's move on to Ravens Bills. Yeah, there was a fifth. Yeah, Chiefs definitely took it. Ravens Bills. That one's tough. That one's actually much tougher than any of the ones we've had so far. Once you get down to the final, basically 3.
You just say the MVP wins this one.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
I mean, technically, they vote on the MVP after week 17 or week 18 before week 1.
Yeah.
So, or playoff week 1. So, 3, 4. This is definitely Bills.
Looks like the Bills.
It's actually not even close in the chat. All right, Bills Chiefs. Bills Chiefs again. Boy.
I'm gonna say Bills.
Oof.
I mean, I know I had them losing last game, but
that's Derrick Henry versus the Texans type numbers right there. Is what that is.
Somebody said the Bills in the snow. Can you imagine trying to stop Lamar and Derrick Henry in the snow?
That's the problem. In the snow, man. Those runners.
Trying to just like how painful it would be to tackle Derrick Henry in that colder weather.
Yeah,
just any weather.
Josh Norman.
Yeah, but
just ask Josh Norman how it was.
Yeah, it's 75 and sunny. I don't want that.
Yeah. It reminds me of the time. And do you guys remember? It clearly looks like I think it was Bills, but then there were a few KCs, but it was still Bills.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Bills.
Yeah. Bills on that side. So before I go on to this, I'm going to tell a little story. So the time I met Antoine Winfield, senior. Do you remember Antoine Winfield?
Mm-hmm.
Incredible cornerback. He played the end of his career in Minnesota as a nickel corner, right? A slot corner. And so I was talking to him once, and I asked him what kind of, because he's a slot corner, he plays the run a lot, and he was actually very well known for defending the run. He was one of the best run defending cornerbacks in the NFL. I think if that's not really well known by the chat, that's what he was. He was known for how well he defended the run as a cornerback. I asked him, who is tougher to stop in the run? What type of running back? I said, Chris Johnson. You gotta, date this. Chris Johnson or Steven Jackson. Chris Johnson or Steven Jackson. A guy that's super elusive and fast, or a guy that can just barrel through you. And he would not give me a straight answer. I tried, and he's like, God, man, you don't want to face up against either of them. But I got the impression that Steven Jackson is a little easier because you can trip him up.
Yeah.
And Steven and Chris, he's just super elusive, but he would not give me a straight answer. And I thought that was pretty funny. I got him to sign some stuff, and it was a shirt of mine, an old FF Oasis shirt. That's how far back this was. But
nice.
God, Antoine Winfield was great. He was a fun dude. All right, let's go to the other side. Rams Vikings. Who we got? Rams Vikings.
Oh, the whole chat is about to pick the Rams.
I would say Scott's got his SFB block list out, so you really want to pick the Vikings.
He does have his
notebook
out. So
bad. No. Honestly, this is I think all the NFC games are going to be tough. I think all of them are going to be tough. I'm super excited to watch the NFC games this weekend, and the next 2 weekends, really. Okay, so the two LA people are picking the Rams. Crazy. It's so weird. I never would have expected that. That's incredible.
It is 8-7 Vikings.
We even got a tie.
Yeah, someone said tie. All right,
So,
yeah, Vikings took it in the end.
2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 6-5, 6-6, 7-6, tie, 7-7.
I will listen.
Yeah, I got the Vikings.
Right now.
I got the Vikings at 10-7-1 now in the chat. So
I love that you counted the tie.
now 10-8-1. Another one came in, but all right. Buccaneers Commanders. Oh, now 11-8-1. All right, Buccaneers Commanders. Who we got? Buccaneers Commanders. Let's go, chat.
Commanders.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see them win.
Yeah.
So this is where my son and I differed. I'm like, this is arguably the toughest one of the weekend for me.
Yeah.
This one right here. And I said, I'm taking the Bucs at home with the more experience and the more veterans. But God, the Commanders they're frisky, man. They're frisky.
If
the thing that they have going for them is I don't think Jaden Daniels knows he's supposed to be nervous or supposed to be the underdog.
Right?
Yes. There's like what is that in the NBA? Irrational confidence, where you got the guy who doesn't who was it? It's an old Vikings point guard or Timberwolves point guard, D'Angelo Russell. He doesn't realize he's not good, so he just keeps chucking up threes.
Yeah. Well, it's the Bull Durham. You gotta play this game with fear and ignorance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm getting Bucks from the chat.
Yeah, Bucks are definitely
more so than I thought. All right, Eagles Packers. I feel like this
playing quarterback,
honestly,
for either of them.
What was that?
So who's playing quarterback for either of them?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it feels like that line's going to change as soon as Hurts clears protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eagles are.
Well, and they just cut the quarterback that they signed as the backup while he was in the protocol. So it feels like he's coming back.
Eagles that they've started spelling the name wrong.
Eagles.
All right.
It's the Philly phonetic spelling.
All right. So now we got a rematch. Lions Vikings. Lions Vikings, people. Ian Book. Former Saint great Ian Book, who I believe did get a start with the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. He got one start, didn't he? Ian Book. He definitely got some playing time.
I'm sorry, I remember him playing. I don't even remember him playing.
Yeah, Lions are taking this one, Scott.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of recency bias here in the chat. Lions. I love the Lions. They're my second favorite team, as we've talked about many times. Barry Sanders is on my wall when I stream most of the time. He's behind me. Eagles Bucks. Who we got?
The Eagles
for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Waiting for the chat to.
I'll take the Bucks.
Bob's still trying to get over the Mike Evans drop touchdown.
How much that cost you?
About $4,000.
Jeez. It's crazy.
I mean, it only cost me
$20,
$45 total.
Yeah.
But I lost out on $4,000. It was like I had 8 people to catch a touchdown, and I was down to the last guy.
I thought you were still going to get it. The McMillan touchdown at the end, I thought that was going to be a Mike Evans drive. But
I thought so too.
I was pulling for you.
Yeah.
Right. Lions Eagles chat. I love that you all have really nice cameras, and I have my old computer upstairs here with the 720p, which a decade ago you'd have been like, "Oh my gosh, look how amazing this is," and now you're like, "Ugh."
Did it start working again at some point?
It did.
You gave us a thumbs down last week.
I know.
I don't think you meant to. But
Lions handedly taking the Eagles. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the other day for kicks.
I'm getting Lions here on this.
Yeah.
It was like 2017, maybe 2017 or 2018. The Dynasty Dummies, the day 2 draft, and like J Mike's like youngest was like teeny tiny. She was on Jake's like Jake had just had a kid, like, so we were doing like the Daddy Daycare Dynasty Dummies edition, but we just built the studio and Kyle had the like 3 cameras up. They're so bad, but we were so excited about it.
That's all that matters.
I mean, it was fun. It was the first time I ever talked to Peter Howard.
Huh.
Oy, what that created.
Lions Bills, first time Super Bowl winner. Lions Bills.
If the Lions make it, there's no way I'm not rooting for the Lions, even though I would love to see the Bills win.
You want the Bills to be 0-5 in Super Bowls, and you hate people from Buffalo. I mean, this tracks with what we know about you.
Yeah.
So,
all field goals in that one.
oh my God,
This is split.
it's so split.
Lions win it, going for a 4th and 6.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
This looks like Lions. All right. So our Fantasy Cares chat is calling Lions in a Lions-Bills Super Bowl. What odds can I get, Bob, against this? What odds can I get? What odds can I get against this happening?
Against it?
Seriously trying to look something up? Because that doesn't feel like it. Is that a what shirt are you wearing, Zach? Is that a
That's it. Scott Fish.
Oh,
Scott Fish, it.
That's
Yeah.
It shirt.
I mean, I'm up here in Maine. We got the Stephen King connection. I was like, we got to do it. We all.
So we're. I love it. Maine. So being in Maine, are you a big Cooper Flag fan?
Yeah. Oh, well, so a buddy of mine is actually in Skowhegan, well, the Newport, Skowhegan. So he messaged me probably like 5 years ago and said there are 2 kids coming up through the rec basketball that are just going to be ridiculous, and it was the twins.
Yeah.
And so like to watch him go from that to winning a state championship as a freshman and then transferring, and now, and I hate to admit this, I've been a Duke fan since Ala Abdelnaby played there. So like I've been there for a while, like before they were winning. And so like to watch him do that in Maine and then be successful at Duke and look like he's going to be a high pick, like it's fun.
It must be. It must be.
I mean, I think the last time Maine had anybody to get excited about, it was like Nick Cantor Medley played for Maryland the year after they won the national championship, and Ralph Mims played for Florida State, but didn't play much. But so we don't get this very often.
No. I think Russ looks a little lost on the Cooper Flag talk. Yeah, you don't get it, but Duke fans, Alabama football fans, Yankee baseball fans, and Packer and Cowboy football NFL fans all understand what I'm talking about. Yep. If you're an Alabama football fan, you absolutely know who Cooper Flag is, because you are a Duke fan, probably.
One of my favorite things that I have is a letter from Krzyzewski asking me to come to the basketball camp.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
That's really awesome.
That's one of the few things I have saved from my past life. So.
Your past life as a baseball pitcher.
Yeah. And I was I've been 6'1" since I was in 6th grade, so I was a pretty good basketball player in Maine. So.
But.
You've heard of peaked in high school. Zach was peaked in middle.
Yeah.
I did not have the same path despite my height thing. I probably told this before, but I was 5'4" in 7th grade, and I was 6'1", 6'2", I was 5'4" in 7th grade. I was 6'1", 6'2" in 8th grade. I grew like 8 or so inches in that 4 to 5, 6 months.
That's exactly what I did.
So painful. It was so painful.
You have to relearn how to walk.
That's when I learned growing pains. That was a show when we were at that age.
Oh yeah, no.
It was a legitimate thing. That's when I learned that, because I went into 8th grade like 6'1", 6'2" after being like 5'4" the year before in school. So, yeah. That was Zach Reed.
No. Mark Rogers was so. I mean, that's not lately, but that was like 2005 or 6. He was the number 3 overall pick. The Brewers took him.
I feel like unless you're going to give something away quickly at the end here, we should probably call it, because it's almost 10.
I haven't even started.
That is an actual factual statement. Bob has said literally nothing this entire time.
So you guys talk too much. I don't get a time. I don't get a chance to say anything.
I actually speak in good time zones, Bill. I can adjust for the crappy ones, but
it's the sit fastball, adjust off speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, I'm gonna head out here any second. So
yeah, I am also ready for sleepy times.
Either call it or give something away, and then call it.
Well, okay. we gave.
And honestly, if we don't give something away now, I think we just look like jerks.
I'm ready to give away.
A code of choice to someone in the chat.
How many people are in the chat?
I don't know.
There are 991 people watching. I don't know how many are in the chat though.
Oh, I don't know about that. Let's see. How many are in the chat?
Usually there's like 30 to 50 in the chat.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 28? I say yeah. What do you think?
All right, pull out a wheel of names, Russ.
I think Bob wants to give them all.
Are you saying give them all?
I'm saying anyone that's sitting here in this chat should get one.
Okay.
All
Wheel
right.
of names
So
with just chat.
Okay, if you're in the chat and you want a Steam code or an Xbox code
for Retromania Wrestling.
For Retromania Wrestling.
Email us.
Yep. team@fantasycares.org.
Oh, we just topped 1,000.
And tell us which one you want.
Yeah, send an email, team@fantasycares. Here, I'm going to put it in the...
Yeah. team@fantasycares.org. Email us by, what should we say, by noon tomorrow?
Oh, I was going to give them the next 4 minutes. 5 minutes.
No.
Oh.
Let's if someone in the
go
middle
back
of the
and
night
watch it.
if someone in the middle of the night wakes up, watches this stream,
the whole thing,
they are eligible.
All right.
But they have to like the video.
Please like and subscribe. team@fantasycares.org. Email us by noon crappy Eastern time zone tomorrow. And we will get you, and tell us if you want a Steam code or an Xbox code, and we will send it to you.
Yes, let us know which code you want because there's multiple.
Team@fantasycares.org. We'll get you all. We'll give them all away.
And just in case it isn't obvious enough yet, we want you to go and sign up for the Playoff Mania, the Playoff League, fantasycares.org/SFPL, fantasycares.org/SFPL10.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of people are saying them in the chat. Please email us, like Bill did. Awesome.
I am curious if I set this up correctly now that the sound will play. If I were
this is Bill, it will never not be shocking to me that John Bosch in Canton plays euchre, but he doesn't play bid euchre. He plays euchre like redraft drafting euchre. He doesn't play bid euchre, which would be like auction and dynasty. Like,
this is my favorite thing ever.
If you're not playing bid euchre, it's like the most basic draft, redraft euchre. And John, that's what John likes. He doesn't like bid euchre, which still blows my mind. Like
the next time, so this is awesome because the next time he gives me a hard time about playing, in a regular snake draft.
Yeah,
like, I'll just be like, yeah, but you don't play bid euchre, so like I'm not even listening to you.
How do you not play bid euchre? Bid euchre is the only way I will play euchre. That is the auction drafting. That is the dynasty of euchre. Oh man, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love you, John.
He's okay. All right, I'm calling it a good night.
Not bid
with
Alan.
a D.
Bid. You bid.
Oh.
Meaning it's dealt out. The person to the left of the dealer bids. I can get 4 tricks. I can get, and you bid how many tricks you think you can get. Anyway. We're good.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit and just hang with us and have a good time, because that's what we're here for, just to have a good time. And congratulations to Katie Zucker for winning the Kenneth Walker jersey. Congratulations to the 4 people, 2 of which who were in the chat that won codes. And then if they just hung around, they probably could have gotten one anyway. But that is a picture of a frog on a toilet. Way to just derail whatever I was thinking.
Nice.
Thanks for that one, Eric. Good night, everybody.
Good night.